Thanks everybody for joining us. We really are glad to have this opportunity to present. I know that we can't all be everywhere, right? Even though they expect us to in K-12. So I am an industry engagement consultant here at Tyler Technologies. Again, my name is Kim Retner, and just really appreciative of being able to participate today. I'm going to talk a little bit about COVID-19 and K-12 transportation. But before I do that, I'd like to introduce you to Tyler Technologies so that you kind of have an idea of who we are. So Tyler is publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Please feel free to look us up under the symbol TYL, and you can find all of the same information. But Tyler makes software and hardware and some other services as well to anyone who provides service to the public, right? So we understand those types of industries. And then, so courts and justice, tax and appraisal, as you can see there on our portfolio. And we are solely focused on K-12, the team that you are meeting here today, myself and Matt and Jeff. And that's important because K-12 transportation is very unique compared to any other logistics for transportation. One of the examples I always give is, unlike the airlines, we don't have the luxury of canceling flights, right? We've got to get the students to school. So, and then there's a lot of safety factors, laws, policies, all of those things. And that's where I come in because of my transportation background. That's why I'm an industry engagement consultant here in our transportation division. And on the next slide, you'll see that we have over 2,100 clients, and we're really proud of the fact that we can say that they actually route a third of our nation's children every day. So again, very, very proud of that. So that's a little bit about Tyler, and please feel free to stick around after this and talk to us some more. So now I'm going to talk about COVID-19 and our response to that for K-12 transportation. Tyler's been using the agile development process for several years. And the primary reason is that it allows us to quickly shift gears as the K-12 transportation industry changes also. Never really has that process been more relevant and necessary than during the 2020 pandemic. Our development team, they barely came up for air this summer as they worked hard to create some new and never before seen functionality for our thousands of clients across North America. That way they could all be ready for start of school. The first part of our process to help our clients through COVID was addressing contact tracing. So Tyler offered this feature for free to our clients. So our current software clients can quickly search for all potential connections. All that has to be done is simply type in the student's name, the date that you're searching for, and then hit the search button. After that's done, you'll quickly receive the results of any possible student connections. Also, any employee connections, right? So that's a great thing. We also have to watch the safety right now of our employees. And so we can quickly get that information as well. And that could be whether it's a driver, monitor or bus aide. That's the good news there. And then we also are able to pull up any vehicle connections, right, or run, because many times in transportation, although we have a plan for the day, sometimes that plan changes, and because we have to be flexible for K-12 students. So we want to make sure that we're looking at the correct vehicle because things may need to be done with that vehicle at that point in time. Just for an example, some of the information we're gathering from some states are they may want to quarantine the vehicle for a while. So that's why this is in here, and our clients are really finding it useful. So the next thing that I want to let you know is you can search by not just the student, right? So I might need to search by something else, like by the employee who may have, been in contact for some reason. but I can also search not just by the employee or the student, but I can actually do that search also by the run or the vehicle. So this is very flexible. Now, on all of these screens before this, you probably noticed that I had said possible connections are what came up. And that information is based on the planned runs within the system. However, if you have one of our solutions, they are all scalable. So you could be utilizing ridership or an attendance solution that would show actual results right here. And so on this screen, when I press the actual button, you can see that on 10/1, there was, Alexis didn't ride today. So that's the good news. Now here, when I do pull up any of these results, I can see what type of interaction it was. So I can export any of this information that I need to report on in any fashion that I like, certainly in Excel. But besides that, another piece of information that's highlighted is, where did this interaction happen? Was it at the stop or the run or both? So that information will come across as well, which, as you can imagine, is very handy. And seating charts were the next on the list as a priority to our clients. These were also included for all of our Traversa clients at no extra cost. Seating charts are customizable and easy to use. In addition to that, there's intelligence built in to help your staff create the seating chart. You'll see that I can actually fill it by either stop order. I can put additional directives in here, such as staggering. And you'll see my mouse moving here in a moment. I'm just going to click again. There we go. And I can actually do the seating chart assignments by alphabetical order, stop order, grade, and most importantly for social distancing, part of the intelligence that's built in here is that stop order, right? So what we're saying is, help us create that seating chart as a dispatcher or router and start it by the stop order so that the first student on is walking to the back and we're not, having too much interaction with each other that's unnecessary. So not just a seating chart that you can fill out, but again, intelligence comes with it. So a router dispatcher can say, fill it by stop order and then stagger it, even make sure that no one is sitting behind the driver, and start it on the service side. It's a wonderful thing. Now, the next thing that I definitely want to talk to you about is our Tyler bus attendance application. Until now, tracking actual student ridership meant printed attendance lists or even additional hardware on the vehicle, right? GPS and card readers on each vehicle. That also counted on students remembering their cards every day, which that can be challenging, but we solved that problem with the Tyler bus attendance application. This application allows your staff on the vehicle to use their own device to record actual attendance using a simple mobile app that's on their own device. I wanted to stress that because that makes things really convenient. You just give them a login and they can use their own device. And then that data can be used for that actual contact tracing record. So when they log in on their own device, very simple to use, little or no training. Any unplanned students can also be added as needed. And that's a factor that we had to have in there, right? That happens. We get to the bus stop and there definitely may be an unplanned student there. And so in addition to that, adding the unplanned student, we also have the seating chart information that comes across and or can be created right from this application. So if we're doing things on the fly because we need to get the student somewhere, we can quickly create a seating chart with all of our COVID policies. We're particularly proud to offer our clients Tyler Drive. Your operation will not fall under any scrutiny for choosing this solution because it's truly built for K-12. Transportation professional drivers cannot do anything else with this device besides perform their job duties. That means they can't go on Facebook or the internet. It's impossible. It's also impossible to interact with the device while the vehicle is in motion. Additional compliance features can be modified. So I want to let you know that. Now, features include onboard navigation, student ridership, timekeeping for your employees on the vehicle. It is a GPS locator inside the unit, vehicle inspections, and messaging. Now, that's nothing that will distract the driver, but we can get important messages to them. So, Tyler Drive, increasing the level of safety and service, right? That's what we're always striving to do in any operation. And you'll see on the next screen that Tyler Drive will actually keep the integrity of a right side only stop. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice. Of a right side only stop. It keeps the integrity of that for us. What does that mean? This is not a glorified Garmin, right? When I need help getting somewhere, it's going to direct me the safest way, not the quickest way around. And when we design runs and stops for students, many times we have to design them in a fashion where the bus is approaching on the right side. And there's lots of reasons for that. That's why this is so important. And this is truly built for K-12. Because it's going to keep the integrity of those right side only stops. And when a driver needs help getting there, it's going to make sure that it directs them in that fashion, not just the quickest way around. Now, once they get to the stop, on the next screen here, you're going to see that the driver will have this wonderful electronic version of the route sheet. Pictures are amazing to have, especially when you're a sub-driver. Kindergartners look the same as first graders, right? And high schoolers certainly look older than I did in high school these days. And so this is just a wonderful thing. And then this actually increases the functionality. Ooh, we'll go back one more. Sorry, I get mouse happy. This actually increases the functionality of student ridership. And what I mean by that is when the student swipes their card, I can actually see that the swipe worked, right? I can see that George swiped and the swipe was successful. But let's say he forgot his card. Our developers, they really have thought of everything so that your focus can be on the students. And so we can actually touch the screen on that little load button and load the student and still count for them today, even if they forgot their card. And also, additionally, on the next screen there, you'll see that this is going to alert the driver if a student is getting on or off at a wrong stop or run. That's huge, right? A huge reducer of any liability when we can be proactive instead of reactive. This will also show the seating charts on here. And that's a great thing for those unplanned students because now we can have a really nice visual and help them with where the most appropriate seat is. Right now, you might be looking for ways to let your constituents know how well your staff is sanitizing and preparing the student's safe return to not only school, but on the bus. So within Tyler Drive, an electronic sanitation log can be maintained and kept. We can even do PPE inspections and your drivers can create a work order for any supplies that are needed right from the Tyler Drive device. So that's a little bit about Tyler Drive. Tyler Technologies also has offered resources during this time, not just to our clients, but anyone in the transportation industry. Because we maintain being leaders in the industry for more than 35 years, we felt that very important. We understand K-12 transportation, not just from a transportation standpoint, but also we happen to offer a student information solution, which is fully integrated with the transportation products. That means you can pull one report for attendance in class and on the vehicle. I hope that you've gotten some great information from this. I'm always excited to share way more because we are an all-in-one solution. And that means that we are a provider from hardware to software and anything needed for transportation, communication between you and your constituents, between you and possible contracted services, and of course, parents and students and staff within. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope you'll stick around and let us know if you happen to have any questions.